going to be talking in this segment about your mind that can talk with God. There is a portion of your mind that knows to talk to God, that chooses to talk to God, and also can choose not to talk to God. And I've heard the expression used, and I like it, that this part of your mind is called the decision maker, that it determines whether or not it wants to be with God or wants to walk away from God and have some fun trying to believe in another God that is not the one who created us, and imagining what kind of a life it might be. And what I want to do in this segment on our YouTube is to be able to show you this portion of the mind, this part of you that does this, by showing you it in me. Because our minds are all one. And there's no difference whatsoever in what my mind can do and what your mind can do. And so we're going to look at when this portion of our minds, this decision maker, springs into action and wants to go to God. And from just listening to this, you know that this decision maker has decided, uh-oh, we're in trouble here, and is making a move now to try to get a solution to it. This is the decision maker in your mind that either decides to walk towards God, stay with God, or walk away from God and have its toodaloo fun until finally it's too much. Well, it's obvious my decision maker at this point, when I heard it speaking, is in the toodaloo mode, being rejected and coming back again and wanting to get with God. This is the decision maker. It's in all of us. Every single one of us has this decision maker portion that either is going to listen to God's mind in us or walk away and listen to our human mind. And here is my mind having made the decision to go back to God. Now, you're going to find this, because I've written these down, when I suddenly spotted the fact that, listen, there's a portion of my mind that suddenly springs out. It wasn't part of my conscious reasoning. It suddenly is talking, and I'm recording what is being said by it. You're going to find it in the Footladder of Notes Divine, which is a curriculum of healing in which both God talks to me and at times my decision maker is talking back to God. But in this one, it's my decision maker talking to God. It's made a decision. And I'm reading to you number 61. It's verse number 61 in the Footladder of Notes Divine, which, as I said, you will find on the website in the Footladder of Notes Divine. Now, we're going to go over it slowly, line by line. This is our decision maker. What's going on up here, yours is going to be doing in your own way and with different words. But what I'm describing in me is in you, and by God it's in both of us. Listen to what my mind is now doing, my decision maker is doing in wanting to get back to God. And these are the words that I heard. Remember, this isn't me consciously reasoning. I'm receiving this just as I would receive God's answers to me. And I write them down. I wrote down that there's this portion inside me, this decision maker, that, look at this, it's making a move. And I'm going to be going along with this decision maker. Here it goes. Lord, will you submit me to your special ways? Will you submit me to your special ways? My decision maker realizes, got to throw the sponge in on what's going on here and return to being submitted to God. That's the only way help is going to come. There's this portion of our mind that knows, I got to go to God, I haven't got the answers, and I have to submit myself to God for your special ways that you, God, have something I ain't got. You got it, I don't. Special ways, I haven't got it. And my decision maker is right. And for those of us who have gone on in prayer life, you know that there are things that you just couldn't straighten out, that you had to go with God with to get God's special answer as a solution to your problem. So here is your mind and my mind talking to God, wanting help. Lord, will you submit me to your special ways? Now, the next thing that this decision maker knows is it knows when we're a mess. We might not realize it, but our decision maker is informing us in talking to God, you're a mess. And here goes the decision maker part of my mind again. I'm listening to this. Woo, this decision maker is talking about me. Engulfed in reason, my decision maker knows I'm doing all the thinking. The decision maker has thrown me into that state. It doesn't want it there anymore, but it knows, and it's informing me because my consciousness needs to hear this. Engulfed in reason, the way I think about things. Modified, impure. Modified, impure. This decision maker knows that a twist has occurred because of my reasoning things that I'm now impure. It's realized it, realized it's not getting anywhere, and it's confessing to this, to God. Now, question to you. How do you feel about submitting yourself, and how do you feel about the fact of calling the spade on yourself, which is what the decision maker is doing? Can be difficult. Can be difficult because you might have trouble with submitting yourself. And if you do, one of the things we stress in prayer life is don't walk away from what you're feeling. Lord, I got trouble thinking of submitting myself to you because I'm scared. Because I don't know what's going to happen. At least I know how lousy I feel. Maybe you'll make me feel lousier. Let's face it, those are the kinds of thoughts that occur. Maybe I won't like what you're going to do, Lord. Got to throw it over to God. This is part of talking with God, that where you're at. And this is what this part of your mind who is intent on being able to get a healing because it now knows Disasterville has come about from playing around with something that's not of God. Will you submit me to your special ways? And it knows that I'm engulfed in reason and I'm modified, impure. That there is an impurity in me. You want to put the impurity to God also? Put it to Him. Lord, I don't feel I'm very pure, and you're pure, and are you displeased with me because of my impurity, my sins, the things I've done that maybe you're unhappy and you're very angry with me? If you feel that stuff, this is going on in our minds, my mind and your mind. That's why it's crucial that I'm trying to throw support behind you of seeing how my decision maker and what's going on in my mind, what's happening there. Again, will you submit me to your special ways? Oh yes, need your special ways. I'm engulfed in reason which has modified me into impurity. Can you tolerate it? Can you go to God with it? Can you risk it? And remember, if you can't risk it, if you're worried about it, dump it to God. Lord, this scares me. Can't do this kind of thing. I need your special way to even get over these kinds of feelings that I'm feeling in myself. You got a special way for it? I need that. And please be gentle with me. Make me feel good if you can. Whatever it is you're feeling, dump it to God. More is coming. Engulfed in reason, bad news, modified impure, my reasoning has made me very impure, morose, in meaning missed. because I am engulfed in my reason and I am impure, I'm morose, I'm down, I'm depressed, unhappy. I don't care what words we use. You know what morose feels like. By the way, do you know what morose is? Do you know what that feeling is like? You ain't not happy, no how. You have no peace. You're uneasy. You're down. You don't know how to get over it. You're morose because you now are missing the personal meaning of yourself and you don't know who you are. You're throwing something in, which you thought you were, but you don't know what you're going to get in what you truly are, and you're worried about it. You're morose. Lord, feel morose, feel uneasy, I'm missing my personal meaning, don't know what's going on, and I am missing the meaning which makes me morose. Now, there's another line coming after it. Abandoned in mode. When you're unhappy about yourself, you feel you can't go to people, can't go to God. You feel such a worthlessness that you put yourself in this abandoned state because it's not easy for you to face it. Have you done that to yourself? That you got this feeling everybody's abandoning you? Nobody's abandoning you. It's that we are so down on ourselves that we're the ones who are abandoning. But this is what the decision maker is saying about us. All of these problems have occurred because we decided to go this way, away from God and into our own thinking. The next line, malevolent in spirit. When you get malevolent in spirit, you can do one of two things. You can get down on yourself and punitive to yourself with a tremendous depression, do something to hurt yourself. All kinds of things can go on. Hurting yourself in any way that you can think of. You know the ways that you can hurt yourself. You know the ways. Or, malevolent in spirit, you start to think that other people are thinking about you the same way you're thinking about yourself. But you won't admit it's coming from you, it's them. What's the problem? It's them. They're making me feel badly. Now the decision maker is looking at all of these problems and recognizing that they exist within you. Are you following that? In fact, what I'll do is I'll read it from the top again. Lord, would you submit me to your special ways, engulfed in reason, modified and pure, morose in meaning mixed, abandoned in mode, malevolent in spirit, and the final line, recognition, succored by thee, S-U-C-C-O-R-E-D, succored, take care of, succored of thee alone, present unto me. That the decision maker calls it on itself and says, please, the only way I'm going to get help is for you to be able to help me. Well, we're going to continue this now in part 2.